My name is Sumaya and I'm doing the question 3 assignment of number 2, assignment 2 for food 2602, and I'm making the green salad with a warm Macon dressing. So I have my ingredients, my mise en place prepped here, and I've washed my vegetables. So I have a scale as well here to measure the grams, and I have some measuring spoons to measure the mLs of the ingredients needed. So I'm first going to be cutting 25 grams of cucumber, so I need to slice it. So I'm just making thin slices. And I'm making sure to be safe with my knife. So I got my scale here and I'm going to measure 25 grams. So that's 28 grams. I'm just going to leave the two aside. And now I'm going to take my lettuce. I need 4 cos lettuce leaves. And I'm going to slice it. Place it in my bowl. Then I'm going to need my 5 spinach, baby spinach leaves that are chopped. So I chopped the lettuce and now I'm going to chop the spinach. So I'm just going to roll it together first so it'll be easier. And my stems, I'm just going to discard this and place it in my bowl. Then I need some radish. So they ask for 2 radishes cut in a julienne style. So I'm going to cut the ends off. I'm going to cut it in a cube. So I'm just going to trim out the edges. So I'm going to make it into a cube. And I'm going to cut about 3 millimeters. Once I have these pieces, I'm just going to lay some up and I'm going to cut out this way so they look like little matchsticks. So they look like these. I have some cherry tomatoes here, about 25 grams, and I'm just going to pinch off the stems. And I'm going to cut it in half. So I also have my green chopping board because I'm doing vegetables. And I'm just going to put this here. I have my spring onion. So for my spring onion, this is just my mise en place for the dressing. So I have my salad here and I'm just going to place this in the fridge whilst I'm making my dressing. So I need 15 ml of spring onion, so a tablespoon. So I'm just going to slice it. And I'm going to measure 15 ml with a measuring spoon. So that's about there. And then I'm going to place it into a container. So just want to tidy up this. Now for the dressing part, I have the 15 ml of my spring onion. I'm going to be adding in 10 ml of oil. So that's 2 teaspoons. So that's 1, 2. I'm also going to be needing 15 ml of honey. So for the honey, what I like to do sometimes is just coat my tablespoon in oil so that the honey just slides off, and since we already have oil here, so 15 ml is a tablespoon. And you can see the honey easily comes out. Then I need some Then I need 10 ml of mustard. So I'm going to put 5, 10. And I'm going to need 20 ml of white wine vinegar. So I'm going to use my tablespoon measure for 15 ml. And then I'm going to use my teaspoon measurement for 5 ml, which will give it 20. I'm going to add some salt and some pepper. I'm going to use a fork and just mix this. So that the oil emulsifies into the mustard. So as I'm mixing, it's going to start becoming a bit thicker. So it has thickened a bit. So I'm going to leave this aside. And then I'm going to change my chopping board to one for my chicken. So I don't have a yellow chopping board. So I'm going to be using the orange one for my bacon. So now I'm going to put my pan on to get warm so that I can fry my bacon. So I got the pan on to get warm. So I can still see my pan, and then I'm going to take my 5 strips of bacon. So because I don't eat bacon, I chose bacon, and they say to cut it along the length. So I have my 5 strips. I'm just going to layer it one on top of another. And this needs to be cut along the length. So I'm going to just cut, they say 1 centimeter pieces. So I'm doing that. Now I'm just going to check that my pan is hot, and I'm going to place that to cook. So because this is bacon, and it's not very fatty as bacon, so it's not going to take such a long time to cook, and there's not going to be so much of oil that comes out. So I'm just lightly browning the meat, the bacon. So I just want to show you what it looks like. So if it was bacon, I would use a slotted spoon, but because it's not, no fat has really blended out, I'm just using a normal spoon. So I have it here. Then I'm gonna take, so I've put the heat off on the stove, so it's off, and I'm gonna take my dressing, and once the pan cools down a bit, I'm gonna take my dressing and I'm gonna pour it into my pan so that it warms up the dressing. So I just have it like that, and now I'm gonna add my meat to the salad, and I'm gonna pour over the dressing. So I'm gonna give it a mix. And this is my warm salad, my green salad with warm bacon dressing. Thank you. So I'm adding my radish to the bowl.